Yes, are you buying Bitcoin before it goes up again? Hello, my name is Chris Brown, and welcome again to another episode of Crypto Knows. I definitely want to talk to you today about the price action that Bitcoin has taken in the last 3 days. So let's get right into it. Here we can see, Bitcoin hit its new high at 16,485, around that. Let's just say 16,500. But like I kind of suspected, not that I was 100% right, but I suspected that between the 13th and the 15th, that Bitcoin would retrace. And this is very typical when it reaches an all-time high. So what has it done? Since basically late the 12th, all day Friday the 13th into the 14th, Bitcoin found a new low from its new high of 15,715, and then during basically today, it came back and tested that level of 15,786. So let's take a look at what exactly it is doing. So, so basically, here we have the 1 hour chart, price chart, where we have a horizontal line, which was the level of resistance before. It was around 15,800. Um, and that was the area that Bitcoin was trying to push through, which it finally did. I didn't think that it would, so I was wrong. I thought it would go to the downside, but it pushed through, came all the way up to this level of, just around 16.5, and then it started to retrace back, right? And what it's essentially trying to do is find support, and it did. It found support on the area of resistance. So around the 15.8 level is where Bitcoin found resistance. It tapped onto this level once, twice, three, four times in about the last couple of days. And this to me isn't really much of a shocker, but the question is, are you buying? And the reason why is if you haven't, the reason why I'm asking the question, if you haven't gotten into Bitcoin or you got spooked because it went up to 16.5, if you want to get in, now's a good time to get in. Today's a good day to get in, and we'll kind of look as to why I think that is the case. So this is for you newbies that are kind of new to the crypto space and trying to figure out, what does all this price action mean? And you're hearing a lot of conversation about 20K. So you ask the question, when do you get back in, or when do you get in? So let's take a look. Back in 2016, nope, that's 17. Here's 16. I did a video about last weekend, and where I thought the price was going to come down in the middle of the month, and then it was going to go up. So 2016 to me is about the same position that we are in now in terms of the bull run cycle. And so, back in 16, around the 9th, there was this nice big price surge up to 734, and then it came down, to 688. And that happened on basically on the 13th. And then from there, it gradually continued on up. It had a nice little price surge beyond its high on the 9th. Stayed up there for a little while, kind of crashed down heavily, but then it regained some of its value, and then it finished off the month strong. Basically, it finished off the month above where it started. In 2017, which was clearly in the bull run, which is when I got into the crypto space, again, around the middle of the month. So here we have around the 11th, there is a drop as opposed to surge. Or really what the high at that point was around the 8th, gradually came down on the 11th, popped up a little bit. Then on the 12th, it came down again, and then it was just a gradual ascend up. So not that Bitcoin automatically repeats itself, but it is important to take note of what it has done in the past to kind of help us determine what it might do in the future. The other thing that is really key to what's going on actually today. So let's go back to the price chart. So right now in California time, we're sitting at 6:48 in the evening. And, during the day, if I want to zoom in, let me zoom in tighter. I'll go to the 30-minute. And this gets us pretty much, here we are at the beginning of the day. We were at around 15.9. So you can kind of see the curve line that I have here is the 20 EMA. And it was riding, let's go back a little bit. I know I'm jumping around, back to the 4-hour. It pretty much today just kind of rode and oscillated right around the 20 EMA, as you can see on the 4-hour. So when we go to the 30-minute, you're seeing kind of how that oscillation has occurred. So, first thing in the morning, it went up, surpassed 16,000. Then for a little while during the day, it rode on the 20 EMA. Then right around 7 in the morning, it kind of came down and touched at about 1:30 California time, 2 o'clock, basically 2 o'clock. It touched 15.7 again. So now it's popped up. If I look at the RSI and I look at the MACD, the 12 is kind of closing in on the 26 moving average. So there is the potential that, and the MACD is sitting at around 50.76. And during this oscillation, MACD range has been from 63.74 all the way down to just below 30. So right now it's sitting here at 55. Let's see, what did I say? 50.33. It could go back down a little bit, and it may try to touch on this 15.8 area again before I think it goes up. There is possibilities that it may bleed into tomorrow and stay low and then move up. It's hard to say. Can't tell you exactly. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just giving you basically my opinion on what I see. But there is a potential for this to come back down a little bit, touch on this, get again support on this 15,800 mark, and then begin to progress back up, which I think seems very, very reasonable since that was such a strong level of resistance. It took quite a bit of tries for it to break through, and it finally did. The price finally did break through. So finding support there, I think, solidifies that now we're in this upper range and we can begin to progress towards the CME gap that everyone's talking about of around 18,000. I made mention that today was a very good day to buy, and here's one of the reasons why. And I'll get more into this on another video, but there has been studies done on which days are better days for people to purchase Bitcoin, and which means, what days are Bitcoin the lowest or the price drops. And as you look at this chart here, you look over the returns, 0.25 return on the right side, an 8 on the left. You can see that typically on Mondays, price tends to go up on Bitcoin. But the Sunday night before, it tends to go down. It tends to be low or goes down because the percentages down here are one of the lowest ones on the chart in terms of returns. So with the price action that has happened with a new high, the testing of that, and along with this day, it's a pretty good day to buy. So before I conclude, I want to turn to this article that was written about an hour ago by Nick Chong on News BTC, and his assessment is that if Bitcoin can maintain 16,150, that will give Bitcoin a strong price to work from, to then go and increase in value even more. So let's kind of take a look at the article real quick. So in the article, it says here, look at this paragraph right here. Analysts remain optimistic despite downward price action, which we just spoke about. One trader says that if cryptocurrency can move to new year-to-date highs and multiple year highs, if it manages to close the 1615 in the short term. So I would say I'd be looking for if it can close at 16,150 and stay there on Monday and move as we move into Tuesday. I think there's a lot of merit to what's being said here. It says Bitcoin could move to 16.6 and beyond if this level is confirmed as support. So right now, going back to the price action chart, it's finding support really at the 15.8 level. So it has to find support where it's right now getting its high. So right now its high is, the candlestick wicks are going to $16,163. So it needs to find this as a base in order for it to really go up higher. So we may see a few days of oscillation between the 16,150, let's say, and the 15.8. That's definitely a possibility, but again, just my opinion. Now, this is an interesting quote from Robert Kiyosaki. He says, basically, look at the quote, Bitcoin boom is beating gold and silver. What does that mean? So for you as a newbie, what does it mean? What is he trying to say to you? It means you better buy as much as you can now. The train is moving, dollar is dying, silver still affordable for everyone. As dollar crashes, what counts is not price, but how many coins of gold, silver, or Bitcoin you own. So, I mean, obviously, for those of you who know who Robert Kiyosaki is, very intelligent man, very wealthy man, understands money. And so he's seen, obviously, as Bitcoin as a good asset to be involved with. By the way, year to date, Bitcoin has had an increase of 88% year to date. So there's something to note as you begin to do your own thinking and formulating your own strategies of how you want to move forward. So let's kind of recap real quick. Basically, there are three things that I kind of want you to get out of this video for those of you that are new. The first thing is, as price action is going on, how do you analyze that? Well, of course, you go back to the charts, you take a look at its high, you take a look at, once it's peaked, what's it going to do? Normally what Bitcoin does is it retraces back to find support. In this case, it's finding support on that 15,800 level, which is what it needed to break through. So that's a good thing, right? So it seems that was a solid breakthrough. Now we're looking for a much higher level, a much higher level of support at the 16,150 in order for it to reach up to 16,600. So we'll give it a couple of days. Right now it's oscillating between those, the 16,160 and the 15.8, and it may do that for another day or so. But the point is, it is definitely a good time to buy in at this moment and before it goes up again, because that's really the sentiment of the moment. The second thing to look at is, as you're trying to analyze this, is what has been the history of Bitcoin? How has it moved in the past? We took a look at 2016 and 2017, noticed that there was somewhat of a decline in the middle of the month, basically these same days. And so that was a great thing to take a look at that, to give us some reassurance. And then the other thing, which we'll talk about more, is, what is the best day to buy Bitcoin? Well, it just so happens that today, Sunday, is a great day to buy. So, with those three factors, I think there's some solid, good information that can be helpful to you as you're trying to make your decisions on how you want to move forward in your investing with Bitcoin. I hope this information was helpful for you. If it was, be sure to smash the like button and become a subscriber to the channel. Would love to build a community and have you be a part of it. If you have any questions, be sure to make a comment below, and I'll be definitely, I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can with the answer. Again, my name is Chris Brown. This is Crypto Novus, where newbies become masters. I'll see you in the next episode.